Good morning. This is day 71 on my hike from Mexico to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail. About to get started. It's a pretty late start. It's like 9:45, but I needed the rest, and it was really cold last night, kind of more than I was expecting based on the Garmin weather app I ran. Anyways, I want to show this ground sheet here. I do agree a tent shouldn't need a ground sheet, but this is why I like to use one. So this is all wet and dirty from last night. Now, if that was my actual tent, it'd be pretty gross. And what I can do is just take this ground sheet off now, and I will dry it out over the course of the day on the back of my backpack. And when I take a break, I'll open it up, and then once it's dry, shake off all the dirt and put it back in. So I think having ground sheet makes a lot of sense. Some people use Tyvek, I think because it's a little cheaper and it's known to be good and stable, but I think it's well worth buying if you can afford it. I mean, we're talking a difference of maybe $10 to $40 or something. A ground sheet custom sized perfectly for your tent. To leave here, so I have 32 miles to get to Tuolumne Meadows, which is where I plan to do my next resupply. So it's only a 2-day food carry, which is good. This is a little bit lighter pack by design. And then in about 18.5 miles, I go to Donahue Pass, which is a little over 11,000 feet in elevation, and that's where I enter Yosemite National Park. So I gotta see, it's almost 10 o'clock, so super late start. So I don't know if I'll be able to make it all the way to Donahue in time, but I just gotta cover these 32 miles by tomorrow, and I wanna get there before the store closes in Tuolumne Meadows. I'm also below 8,000 feet right now, so it's gonna be quite a trek up today. So we'll see how the day unfolds, but I'm gonna get moving here, and I will see you on trail. Pack's feeling a little stiff today. Really not sure why. I just tightened it and everything, kind of reset the straps, but probably a little heavier than I was used to yesterday too. And there is the bridge closure that I had to work my way around. So the normal PCT would run on that side, and the detour obviously took us around to this side. I do wonder what happened. It looks like it's been closed since July of last year. So I think maybe that was the hurricane. There was that big hurricane that came through San Diego when I lived there, and it impacted Splash House and Burning Man and some other stuff. I wonder if that was what this was. The same thing that affected Mission Creek. So, interesting. Yeah, there's no getting across that unless you're crazy. So, I actually only camped 0.1 miles from getting back on trail, so I did a good job last night. But I was hiking later, naturally. I was up later preparing my video and stuff. So I slept in later, so very late start to the day. It's now a little after 10 a.m., but I'm gonna try to make up that time, a little lighter of a lunch. And wow, there's a spider web. I probably can't see it. Maybe you can see it reflecting in the sun there, but that would imply nobody's come across here yet today, because it's body height, or the spider just made it. Feels good to be back on the official main PCT trail. Haven't seen a single person today. I did see 2 workers come through by my campsite. Probably something to do with, managing all the downed, dead trees and wood and stuff, but they didn't even say hi. Not in a bad way, they're just doing their thing. So yeah, been pretty quiet so far. I really like this part, basically paralleling this river, but on high ground in a forest. Pretty cool. To all of me and all of you, I hope you carry some freeze-dried food. So I tried calling Tuolumne Meadows General Store and Post Office yesterday. I even got on the phone with the Yosemite National Park reservations line. They gave me a phone number because there wasn't one listed to get to this very newly opened post office and general store to see if they had carried freeze-dried meals, because I couldn't get an answer anywhere else online or in the app that I use, and nobody picked up. And the reason I want to know is because I knew they had snacks and small stuff, but I was debating buying 5 or 6 days worth of dinners at Red's Meadow and carrying that weight. So then I was resupplied, because if Tuolumne Meadows Post Office and General Store doesn't have the freeze-dried meal dinners, I'm probably gonna have to hitch into Yosemite Valley to get to the campground store there, which is gonna be a big time suck. Although it's super beautiful, so probably okay. But again, this is that balance I was talking about yesterday between prioritizing getting to Canada and sightseeing. Yosemite's definitely one of the side quests. I mean, I go through Yosemite. I should hit it today if I can get all the way to Donahue Pass, but it's a side quest where you don't actually get to go into the valley or see a Capitan or the Half Dome or any of that. So that's off trail. So I definitely was considering doing that prior to having to take 12 days off or whatever it was in Bishop for my injury. So there's that balance. So it wouldn't be the worst if I had to hitch into Yosemite Valley, but I'd much prefer to just keep going. So we'll see how that goes. To anyone out there watching this vlog, thanks for your time and interest. I just have to give a little background on it. So I really don't like social media at all. And I was, one second, gotta cross the stream. All right, I'm gonna cross on these very highly elevated logs. Not great for my issue right now on my left knee, having to prop myself up. Okay, so as I was saying, well, further corroborating that there's been a bit of a topography change. I don't know if you can see, but these bugs floating by my head are back. One of my not so favorite parts of the desert experience. They were not there during Kings Canyon, Sequoia National Parks, but all of a sudden they're back. They're these ones that just kind of hover and float by your face as you're walking with you, and sometimes land on your face. I don't know if you can see, there's one here now. Very annoying. Most of the time I can be zen enough to not really let it bother me, but there was one time in the desert where I was just really frustrated, and that was sort of a tipping point for me with my frustrations that day. But yeah, it's interesting they're back here, so it does say something. I don't know exactly how much I've climbed since I last checked in, but it was pretty steep, couple miles, a lot of sweat, and so I'm definitely chipping away at that 3,000 plus foot elevation gain I've got ahead of me today. Going through a place called Agnew Meadows. There's like a parking lot there that has a few cars, and looking on the map, it looks like it's a small settlement of sorts, but I'm just scraping by or cutting through a couple parking lots and then continue on. I'm craving buttermilk pancakes right now. Is it so interesting how these like very specific just cravings come up? It's almost like I smell something in nature or think of something and then boom. But buttermilk pancakes, no syrup, lots of butter. So it's a few minutes before noon, so I'm almost at the 2-hour mark, just over 5 miles in. It's been almost exclusively uphill, and I am feeling it. Not just like my knee pain and my sciatic glute pain or whatever, but like sore, just fatigued. You know, haven't slept outside of the wilderness now in 8 nights. Just been hiking up and down mountains all day. It really starts to wear on you. I don't sleep that great, so I'm feeling a little fatigued, and the thought that I'm not even a third the way, feeling this fatigued right now, and I'm not even a third the way up to the top of Donahue Pass, let alone going past it to find a campsite is daunting. But that's why I'm out here. That's why I'm still going, because I know I can handle it, as hard as it is. That's the challenge I came out here for. Whew. I also want to add, and I hope this remains, that I'm very grateful that my Achilles and plantar fascia have not been giving me many problems at all. Just very minor, very minor feeling here and there. So like, I think maybe, hopefully, those parts of my body have finally toughened up after all that pain and suffering I went through. I think hopefully they're finally, that part of my body has its trail legs, so to speak. Well, I went to drink this very refreshing ice cold water. I'm getting bit by a mosquito right now. And a fly, as I was trying to pour it in my mouth, went right into my mouth. I almost ate it. I had to get it out, literally pull it out with my fingers. And then I went to record this video. There's mosquitoes on me. I mean, it's just the reality. Pros and cons, right? Fresh, natural, cold water, bugs in my mouth, and taking blood out of my back. I was 7 miles in, it's all been uphill. It's taken a lot out of me right now. It's a little bit of a Switzerland vibe, which is pretty amazing to have in my own backyard here in California. Finally reached the top of a big climb. Don't know for sure, but I'm probably like 9 miles in or so. And I'm not to the peak yet. It's like, you know, you go up for a ways and then you go down, but then you go up for a ways and you go down a bit. It's like 2 steps forward, or 2 steps up, 1 step down kind of mentality. So to get to ultimately the high pass or the peak. So I'm gonna go about 1 more mile, stop for lunch and to rest my very sore torso down, and hopefully get over Donahue today still. Well, I just met a very nice couple that was sitting on trail and had a question for me. I ended up talking for a few minutes. Marco and McCaw, and if you happen to be seeing this, I did mention my very nascent YouTube channel to them. Thank you so much for the Milano cookie again. That was honestly something so small like that just picked up my spirits. Like I just hiked 9.5 miles. I'm feeling beat up. I was about to stop for lunch and they offered me like, hey, do you need anything? That is like one of the nicest things to offer. Very few people I've met on trail that are not doing PCT have offered something like that, and it's just very aware and kind. So they gave me a really delicious cookie and just really positive energy. So it definitely was a nice little stop for me, because honestly it's been a hard day and I've only seen 2 other people besides them all day on trail, so it's been very oddly quiet. The other 2 people were hiking the JMT southbound, so we passed them and that was it. Anyways, got about a half mile left. Gonna stop, get some lunch in me, which is gonna be hard to eat my tuna in a week-old tortilla now after having a delicious Milano cookie, but it's sustenance. And then hopefully summit and get to Donahue Pass before it's too dark and late. Well, the valley was plenty to stop for luncheon. The creek there wasn't flowing, or I just spaced out, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. So I got another mile to go, get to water. Okay, I found a place that'll be good for a break here, a lunch spot. We can be in the shade, and it's near water, so it'd actually be a great place to camp, but I'm only halfway through my day. Well, I was debating stopping here in the first place because I couldn't tell how much the water is flowing versus standing, and it looked like it was flowing a bit. I think that was just the wind pushing some ripples into it. So when I got there, it was standing, and I actually was debating if I even stay, because I'm so used to this amazing, you know, alpine water flowing down creeks. Basically, probably doesn't even need to be filtered. And it shows how spoiled I've gotten that I almost wouldn't want to drink this. Whereas in the desert, I was literally at times drinking like very questionable water sources. Also, I'm getting attacked by both biting flies and mosquitoes at the same time. So I don't know how long of a break this will be. Just finished my lunch break and getting back on trail. It was nice. I saw 2 PCT hikers go by. One I knew from before. Nice guy named Bullwinkle. Really cool story how he got the trail name, but not gonna go down that road at the moment. And another guy I just met. But anyways, I've got 8.2 miles to get to the top of Donahue Pass, which is over 11,000 feet. I am currently a little below 10,000. I think it was like 9,700 or something. So I've made progress because I was below 8,000 when I started today, but still got a long ways to go. I've really enjoyed these last like 4 or 5 days. I haven't hiked with my watch on ever since the one day I needed to preserve battery going into that Muir Ranch. I haven't used it, but it's been better. The miles seem to go by faster. I'm not tracking my stats as much, like frantically looking at my watch all the time, see how much mileage I've gained or what my heart rate is or what elevation I'm at. So how long I've been hiking. I actually think I much prefer without it, but there's times it'll be useful, and one of those times is now because it is about coming up on 3:15, and I got 8 miles or so, as mentioned, of mostly all uphill to get to this pass. And so I need to kind of be monitoring that carefully because there's not really a lot of places to camp, I think, up there. So I'm going to need time to still get down from there too. So we'll see if I have the energy to push over it. All right, check in later. Ciao. Interesting rock formation. It's like very Indiana Jones jungly vibes in here. These might have been put in for a creek, but here's a great example of steps when they're unnecessary and people clearly are tired of and in pain of them. So this trail is formed to get around them, which is almost completely flat. So basically these are up and down unnecessary steps. They're just killing my joints. My knee is hurting every step. I don't know how many days this is now, like 4 or 5 in a row. Thankfully, I mean, it's gotten a little worse, but not so much worse that I have to stop, but still trying to enjoy these beautiful views despite being in a little bit of pain. So I just got up this little hill, and this is overlooking from a kind of flat perspective though, Thousand Island Lake, because there's so many little islands. Wonder if each of those rocks count as one. Just kidding, but there are so many islands in this lake. It gets probably kind of hard to see from this perspective. And the reason it's famous and mentioned a lot on these trails is this is where the JMT, the John Muir Trail, and the PCT split. So we've been paralleling together, like same trail, side by side for 100, almost 200 probably miles. The JMT goes from Yosemite all the way and ends at the peak of Mount Whitney. And so all the way from where we would have on the PCT split to go to Mount Whitney, we've been paralleling the JMT. And I say paralleling meaning like it's the same trail. And it's been nice. Most of the JMTers I've met have been going the opposite direction, southbound. I've met a few going northbound. Definitely can notice some differences in the types of gear and just kind of mileage per day and sort of overall vibe, I guess, of between the two. Not saying one or the other is better, but it's definitely a difference in all. But all in all, I really enjoyed seeing the JMTers. Just, more faces on the trail. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it at first. So after this split, which will be shortly after this Thousand Island Lake, there will be a lot less people I'll be seeing, especially coming in the opposite direction. There's a little bit better view of Thousand Island Lake. I'm not sure I'm going to get any higher up, so this might be the best to get. Would be a place I'd want to spend more time at. I'm kind of looking at my PCT hike as a bit of a sampler, having clarified that I'm prioritizing finishing all in one continuous burst. It gives me a little sample of all these other places that I might take notes of that I want to come back and do like a week trip or just camp for a while. So I'm not too flustered I didn't end up going into Mammoth. It gives me something to go do, having lived in SoCal for 4 years and still have not gone. It's something I can make a little long trip, you know, long weekend or short trip out of. But yeah, this right here, this island or this lake, Thousand Island Lake, looks like some place I would definitely want to come spend some time at. Very cool. The JMT goes that way. The PCT continues this way. I've definitely been hiking with JMT hikers for a while, or crossing them, so I don't know, because I definitely misinterpreted the split, because where I'm hiking now is there's still GMT people, so maybe for a while I'll still be hiking alongside them, or with them. Anyways, but that is a split for sure, meaning the part I just came from is not part of the JMT, but it very much was for much of the Sierras and the national, like Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Park. So I don't know, maybe it like rejoined for a little, not that important. You can see our other hikers coming through here. A little bit better view. You can see all the islands right there. Naturally it's bugging me, so I had to look. So basically the PCT and JMT were running almost all this time together. They split off near Reds Meadow, but because of that detour for the PCT, I never actually saw where they split off, which is why I was confused. And then this is where they would rejoin, essentially, in the direction I'm going. So for the stretch from Reds Meadow to here, they were actually not running congruent or together. So it was only a small stretch, but everyone refers to this as the split because this is where, down there where I just came from, that's where they split off. So, but like where I'm standing right now, they are running together again. What am I craving right now? Cupcake, like a vanilla cupcake, not like a good one from Sprinkles or a homemade one, like one of like the ones you get from like Albertsons or Jewel, like the pre-packaged ones that come like, you know, 6 or 12, like the little ones, or yeah, just craving that fake frosting so much right now. Oh wow, check this out. Here is a much better view of Thousand Island Lake. I'll flip the camera so you can see all of them. I do wonder if someone actually counted all of them, and there's over 1,000, and how one is defined. So I've passed probably like 6 or 7 people now since that split just a mile back, and this explains completely why I saw nobody today on trail. That's because the stretch where the PCT and JMT are not overlapping was basically that 16-mile stretch from Reds Meadow to that split point right there. So that's why it was such a quiet morning. It's been nice seeing some friendly faces today since that split, going in the other direction. I just passed a really nice man, talked for a little bit. Might have been hiking with his dad. I think there were 2 of them. They're kind of spread out, but probably together, but said how he was exhausted. But wow, I mean, this guy, I don't know, and my heart truly goes out. I said a little prayer and everything, just very, I don't know what the word is, kind of emotional, sympathetic, and also inspired and grateful for my own situation. But he definitely had some kind of disability, but he was out here doing it, and it's just so amazing and inspiring. Like I am struggling with this so much, and I'm blessed to not have some kind of disability. You know, I don't know exactly what it was or what it'd be called, but I definitely can recognize it just with how I was walking and how I talked. And wow, that is so freaking awesome. Like, good for him, and very, very inspiring in a way, and just kind of heartwarming. But yeah, he's like, I'm exhausted. He's like, I feel that, man. Me too. But really, if I could redo it, I would have said, I feel that, man, but you got this, you're crushing it. Something a little more to just kind of talk back and inspire a little bit than just trying to commiserate and my knee. Shoot. All right, I gotta hang up here because I didn't use my trekking pole to step up this step, and that hurt. But you know what? At least I'm fairly healthy overall, and I'm grateful for that. And that just kind of put things into perspective. And wow, what an awesome guy. I wish I could know more of his story. I mean, this is like 10 seconds after I just said the last video. I mean, I really just screwed up my knee on that step. I've been trying to baby it and be so careful to take as much weight as I can on the other foot, and both trekking poles anytime I need to go up or down. And I just kind of forgot as I was vlogging, and I just put all my weight on my left knee or stepping up on my left leg without any support, and it really messed it up. So I'm 2.5 miles in from lunch. I'm gonna sit here for a little bit. Hopefully it'll get a little better and I keep going. Man, whatever I did to it when I was filming is next level pain. Like, I laid down for a bit, I'm trying to move again, I'm limping. This is really not good. I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. Well, I tried to get going again and it hurt too much, so I stopped to rest it. And I was getting eaten alive again by mosquitoes. Now I'm just gonna slowly hobble around to get to the next water source and reassess. I just took a bunch of painkillers and ibuprofen without water, which isn't good, but I mean, this is not a good situation once again. It's literally one damn thing after another out here. I feel like a 35-year-old body should be holding up better than this. It's quite frustrating. Well, it's not even a question. I'm gonna cut my day short. This is unbelievable. Just hobbling my way to try to get to this next water source. Hopefully there's a campsite there. And I've been going so slow, the mosquitoes are still annoying me. I was managing the knee pain for 5 or 6 days with painkillers and being extremely mindful of every step up or down by putting my weight on my other foot and my trekking poles. And I forgot for one step, and now I don't know what this means. I'm hoping I will rest tonight and it'll get better enough, like it was at least the last 4 or 5 days, for tomorrow. The painkillers I took and ibuprofen aren't doing anything. That is not a good sign. I don't know, they say to drink a lot of water with excuse me, ibuprofen. I don't know, I don't think that has anything to do with activating it. But I actually don't know why that is. Probably just so your body can digest it or whatever, but man, I'm trying to hold off just total loss of morale and being demoralized again until tomorrow to see if maybe it'll get to a point where it's manageable in the morning, as I've been able to manage it the last 3 or 4 days. It's really hard not falling prey to just total demoralization. Largely, my Achilles and plantar fascia have been feeling good since I got back off the Bishop, honestly. Of course, then I finally say something about it on video, and now my right Achilles is acting up. I'm pretty sure it's because I'm putting so much more weight on my right leg as I step down, limping because of this damn knee, because they built this trail so stupidly. I honestly feel that way. You can tell a lot of people feel that way, given there's all these little side paths to get around these ridiculously sized steps. Nightmare Before Christmas vibes. Okay, there's a creek running right there, maybe 100 feet down. And this is a very cozy, secluded little spot that I will post up for the night. I just feel so demoralized. I literally only think I did 14 miles or something. I was planning to do at least 20. You can only just hope this will be better in the morning. Otherwise, I got some other issues to figure out logistically and a lot of things. But I haven't done this before, but I've heard of it hero's day where you just take 100 milligrams ibuprofen, and then 2 hours later you take 100 milligrams of, I never say it right, like Tylenol, acetaminophen or whatever. So I might just try that and drink a ton of water. Try not to get demoralized. So I'm just kind of exploring around my campsite, and this is very interesting how these rocks are all, there's almost like little channels or valleys between them all. You can see here there's a pretty drastic one, and then above it there's another where there's even a pond. If you followed that valley all the way down, it's going to lead to where my tent is. So it's pretty interesting, just the topography. Obviously being injured sucks right now, but I will say it's given me a time right now to kind of actually look around and take it in and explore in a way that I'd like to be doing, but I really don't that often. So obviously would prefer to still be hiking right now up to Donahue Pass, but some silver lining in the whole situation. So there's my tent set up, and there's the creek. This has been day 71. I will catch you all tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be feeling better.